Ordinary versus extraordinary.
Whenever you try to live for your ego, you make your life and others' lives miserable. Most of the time, the miseries you face in your life are not created by others. They are unknowingly created by you. You may not even derive any benefits from them, but just to prove your ego, you create them.
A small story. An enlightened master, Suzuki, lived in Japan. When his master passed away, he started weeping profusely. One person asked him, "You are an enlightened person. Why are you crying on your master's passing away?" Suzuki replied, "My master was the most extraordinary man on planet Earth." The person was puzzled and asked him,
What was so extraordinary about him?
Suzuki replied, "I have never seen such an extraordinary person who thought he was the most ordinary man. In ordinary life, every average person thinks he is extraordinary. When you feel that you have undergone the maximum suffering, your ego feels good that you have been able to handle a tough life. Only when your enemy is big, you feel big. When your enemy is small, you feel small." For the same reason, if your suffering is big, you feel good. Your ego feels satisfied. You measure life with the amount of your suffering. Unknowingly, you torture others as well as yourself. Suzuki's master was extraordinary because he thought he was the most ordinary, whereas in this world, every other person thinks he is extraordinary. A small story. There was a king in India who was very egoistic. His ego had grown to such a great extent that he started declaring, "I can do everything God does. I am greater than God." If someone objected to his view, immediately he would give the order, "Kill him." There was an enlightened master in that kingdom. When he came to the capital, he heard about the egoistic attitude of the king and wanted to show the king the truth. He went to the court and started praising the king. "O king, you are equal to God. You are God." The king was very happy and said, "Yes, you seem to be an intelligent person. Tell us what more you have realized." The master said, "O king, I have to tell you an important thing. There are some things you can do that even God can't do." Now the king was floating with pride. He said, "Please tell us what it is that I can do that even God cannot." The master replied calmly, "O king, if you are angry with somebody, you can send him out of your kingdom, but God cannot. God cannot send us out of his kingdom. The kingdom of God, enlightenment, the vibrant silence is our birthright." If you want to check whether you are average or not, do this experiment. If you feel extraordinary, be very clear, you are average. If you feel ordinary, you are extraordinary. Using the right mask. You all play different roles, use different masks in your day-to-day lives. You use one mask with your mother, a different mask with your father, a different one with your boss, and so on. As long as you use the right masks with the right people, it is all right. The moment you use the wrong mask with a person, be aware that your ego has stepped in. All you have to do is switch masks efficiently and enjoy the show. Then you are a watcher. You can do this only when you know that you are something beyond the mask. Otherwise, you will get carried away by the mask and lose the whole charm of life. When you know that you are only using masks, your desires drop. Just like when you grow up, you automatically drop your toys. In the same way, when you look at these masks intelligently, you don't have any desire for them and simply use them as needed. Ego is born from discontentment. If you are a strong egoistic person, you don't need a separate hell, because the mind can exist only in conflict and discontentment. With contentment, with satisfaction, you will lose your boundary. That is why you don't want joy or bliss. Please never think you want bliss. No. Actually, you are afraid of joy and bliss. Whenever you go through a peaceful, no-worry feeling, just watch yourself. You feel you are missing something when there is nothing to think about. Unless you have something strong to brood over, you don't have a clear-cut boundary in your inner space. Your mind exists when it hits the corners of your suffering. You don't feel your boundary or your identity unless you have enough suffering. If you look a little deeper, you will understand that many times you feel lonely if you don't have anything to worry or suffer about. That is the way you believe yourselves to be, because by its nature, the mind can record only negative things. The mind can flourish. It can create more thoughts. It can more clearly identify with suffering, dissatisfaction, and discontentment. The quality of joy is boundarylessness. When you are in joy, you won't feel your boundary. Whenever you don't feel your boundary, you are in a state of joy, in a satisfied and contented mood. Suffering leads to ego. Your ego cannot exist without your suffering. Suffering is the root of your ego. This is an important thing you need to understand. We always think that the ego is disturbed by suffering. No, ego is enriched by suffering. One more important thing is that if your suffering is less, your ego is less. You feel you are too small, so you increase your suffering so that you can feel you are somebody. The less the suffering, the lesser is the ego. The more you suffer, the stronger your ego becomes. So you always exaggerate your suffering. The problem is that after some time you forget that you exaggerated. Then you are also caught in the same net. You might disagree and say, "No, you don't know my life. You don't know my suffering." But be very clear. After some time, you are caught in the same net that you yourself created. You can only enjoy yourself without ego. Only when you don't have ego can you really enjoy yourself. If you have ego, you can't enjoy. Standing in front of the mirror, you may apply makeup so that others will enjoy you, but you can't enjoy yourself. Only a person who does not have ego, who does not identify with the body and mind, can enjoy himself. If you think something is yours, you can't enjoy. For anything that you think of as yours, you have lost the freedom to enjoy that thing or relationship.
Ego and the connection with nature.
This is an incident from the days right after my enlightenment when I was in Tamil Nadu in South India. One evening, I was sitting in a very relaxed mood in a forest. My eyes were open, but I was not seeing anything, as there was no information going inside and getting processed. There was a huge snake lying about 3 feet in front of me. Because the eyes were not processing any information, there was no fear inside. I was sitting, and the snake was also so relaxed and comfortable. Then slowly, my mind came down to the normal plane, and I had a thought, "Oh, there is a snake." Then the next thought came, I should move away. The moment the thought snake came in my inner space, I saw very clearly that the snake also felt disturbed that there was a man in its presence. Until I felt there is a snake, the snake never felt that I am a man. Until I felt the fear, the snake never felt threatened by me. Neither did I have fear, nor did the snake have fear. But the moment I had fear, the snake also got fear. It was not that the physical distance between us reduced, just the thought snake came in me, and I was clearly able to feel there was a disturbance, a restlessness in the snake's inner space. The moment I had the thought I should move, The moment I had the fear, immediately the snake also felt the same insecurity, the same threat. Immediately the snake started moving, even before I started moving.
When your ego becomes strong, your ability to connect with nature is disturbed. Dual identities.
We all have two identities, the identity that we project to the outer world and the identity that we believe to be us in the inner world. The identity that you believe to be you inside your mind is called mamakar in Sanskrit. It will always be much smaller than what you really are. You will carry or remember all your failures, past mistakes and guilt, constantly trying to work on them. The identity that you project to the outer world is called ahankar. Ahankar is your visiting card. You print on it everything that you want others to know about yourself. This is based on the identity you show to the outer world. It will always be more than what you have, more than what you are. It will always be much more than what you are because you think you have to sell yourself. It becomes a basic need to do this, especially in the societies where you have to market yourself. Ahankara will be based on a superiority complex. Mamakara will be based on an inferiority complex. Ahankara will be based on fear. Mamakara will be based on greed.
A small story.
A man arrived home after giving a series of leadership talks to groups of employees at a company. His wife asked, "How did the talks go?"
The man replied, "Okay, I guess, but I am not sure how many people understood what I said." The wife asked, "Why do you feel that way?"
The man said, "Because I don't understand it myself."
The identity that you show to the outer world will always be based on fear. This is why it will always be more than what is true about you. You will constantly try to keep it alive. The identity that you carry in the inner world is based on greed. This is why you always try to develop the identity that you carry inside you. You constantly work on the identity that you believe is you and continuously try to chisel it.
Your life is nothing but the fight between these two worlds, the conflict between ahankar and mamakar, the conflict between the personality that you show to the outer world and the personality that you reveal in your inner world is called tension. The uneasy feeling between these two identities creates diseasiness.
Both the identities, ahankar and mamakar, are pure myths. Both are lies. You are something beyond these two identities.
If you spend your whole energy expanding ahankar, the identity that you project to the outer world, your life becomes materialistic. People who work on mamakar are constantly working on their personality, trying to create some identity to feel satisfied about. If you spend your whole life chiseling and developing mamakar, the identity that you think is you, your whole life becomes moralistic and suppressing.
The basic truth is that you are much more than these two identities. When you unclutch from these two identities, you will suddenly realize that you are beyond the two identities. When that happens, these two identities can never bind you again.